Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and over this past weekend, EUIC took place, and I was really excited to see a Miraidon Regieleki deck finish 8th overall, making top cut, because as you know, I've made some videos on it. It's a deck I really enjoy playing. I think it's pretty good, and it's a deck I think that suits my style. I'd love it to be a really top tier deck, because it's a deck I will turn to on a regular basis. So I want to take a look at the 60 in his deck list, compare it to the one I was playing, and then play the deck a little bit just to get a sense for what he did with his build. The player, it was Robert Kinbrum, I believe. You can go on to Limitless on their website and check out how he did his placement, and everyone else. Like I said, he came in 8th overall at an event of, I believe, over 1,500 people. So he plays 3 Miraidon EX. I was only playing 2, so it's got one more there. He plays a 3/4 Regieleki VMAX line, and then he includes the Raikou V, which I had cut in the final build of mine. But he includes 2 Raikou V, and obviously Raikou V does have the benefit, well, 2 things. Got fleet-footed ability. You draw an extra card if it's active. That's nice, but that's not the big thing. The nice thing is it attacks for just 2 energy, whereas the Miraidon and the Regieleki VMAX both attack for 3. So being able to attack for 2 and do meaningful damage is useful. It doesn't always do big damage depending on your opponent's bench size, but it does let you attack turn 1 going second much more consistently. So I think that's a big part of why it's there. And then 1 Radiant Greninja. I will say this, they're only in the top 158. I only saw a total of 4 Miraidon Regieleki decks, and the other ones did a lot worse. The one was 71st, 135th, and 143. This list is the simplest of them. It's a very streamlined list of Pokemon. The other list would include things like Klefki, the Zapdos from the Go set, Drapion V, Magnezone V-Star. All the other decks were just a lot more complicated. This was very simple, very streamlined. It did what it did, right? Obviously, it'll take some bad matchups, but he accepted that and hoped that he hit the right opponents, and the deck, relying on the consistency of the deck to get him through. He played 15 energy, so I played 14, one more. And again, comparing to the other 3 decks that were in the top 158, he had the most energy, which allows you to get the most benefit out of Electric Generator. So again, giving the deck a little more consistency, right? Finding that right energy number is important, because too many energy and you're not drawing well, so it hurts the consistency, but too few energy and Electric Generator's not that beneficial. So changes in his list over mine. He plays 2 Boss and 2 Serena. I was putting in 4 Serena. The 4 Serena does help with consistency because you can draw with it, but obviously it can't gust up EXs or any single prize Pokemon, so having Boss does give value to it. Now he includes 4 Switch Cart, which I didn't include. It does certainly make sense in the deck. The VMAX, your only evolution Pokemon, has free retreat, so it only switches basics, but as I said, the one evolution Pokemon has free retreat anyway, and then it does heal 30 off to the Pokemon that retreats to the bench. So that makes sense. Full force, a set of 4 in that. So he has more Switch cards, I think, than I did in my build. Plays 1 Echoing Horn, which certainly pairs well with the Raikou V. Raikou V's damage is based upon how many Pokemon your opponent has on the bench, so it gets 1 more Pokemon onto the bench for damage, and you do have the possibility of putting down something and gusting it up with Boss or Serena to get the knockout, maybe to win the game at the end too. So some value there with that. And then there's probably the most surprising card to me is Cram-o-matic, 3 Cram-o-matics. Now that is obviously you discard an item, which the deck plays a decent number of items, not a problem. But then you flip a coin. If it's heads, it's tremendous because you search for any card you want. Tails, you get nothing. So a high roll card. I'm not sure if his thought behind that was, hey, to win a tournament, you need to get a little lucky, and so he was just willing to put in a little bit of an extra luck factor in it, knowing that was going to be necessary anyway. I'm not sure. That one is probably the one that's most surprising, the most questionable to me. But we'll see how this deck goes. Things that he cut from my deck list. No trekking shoes. In a sense, I might prefer to see the trekking shoes over the Cram-o-matics, but obviously trekking shoes is rather random what you get with that too, so maybe that's a tough call there. And I included EX P share, which was a nice card also. Trying to think through what I want to do here. I didn't notice I'm going first or second, unfortunately, which is a problem because that would have influenced what I wanted to do also. If I started Regieleki thinking I might be going second, in which case I want to have the opportunity to attack with Raikou, and I can power something up on the bench with Electric Generator, which I happen to have in hand. So I go first, though, so I would have rather had Raikou in the active. Get 2 energy here. That's quite nice. So I want to get down a Miraidon. I'll get what I don't need 2 researchers next turn. Just 1 is fine. Put down Miraidon. Maybe I think I should have done the Miraidon play before Electric Generator. So that was sloppy on my part. I'm telling myself this to remind myself also. All right, so what's the V max situation? I have 2 V maxes. 1 is prized. So I want to get... the V has some value also to attack with, so I'm going to toss down another Regieleki V. I'm going to leave the V in the active, I believe. Haven't attached yet. I will attach to a Miraidon on the bench just because I'll probably want to attack with Miraidon at some point and pass. I could have attached to the active. It guarantees that I can retreat next turn. There's obviously now we'll see what my opponent plays and how they do, but I'm up against a Gardevoir EX deck. This is a tough matchup. Gardevoir EX is obviously a very good deck. Now, it doesn't set up as well, as consistently as mine. They did get Battle VIP past turn 1, so that does set them on the path to getting a good start. So they played, both Ralts, so they have the memory skip on the 1. At this point, though, unless they gust up my Raikou, I could attach with the Regieleki V. If they do memory skip, they'll stop switching bolt from being used. I probably don't want to use that. I think I want to take the knockout with Raikou. I can attach, retreat is easy enough to do. I do have research, which I imagine I'll use unless I get judged. And I'm getting judged here. Okay. I only had 2 cards in hand, so that I figured there's a decent chance I was not going to get judged, but it did happen. So now, okay, I do have a VMAX in hand, so I have free retreat. So that's good, because otherwise I could not attack. I do have Beach Court also, which is good. Gives me free retreat, because I do need to do some switching for sure. So I can't use Cram-o-matic because I don't have an item. What do I want to do here? I do have... Well, Raikou, I'll retreat, use Raikou's ability. I'm a little unsure if I want to... I'm not sure if I want to boss something up at this point. I don't really know that I do. Hit an energy, which is useful. I will attach to Miraidon because that he gets 1 away from attacking. The Beach Court could help my opponent, so I don't want to play that down. So I will just take the knockout here on Radiant Greninja. I'm just not sure. If there was a Curly in play, I would have gusted that up for sure, but that was not an option. Obviously, I would like to get some more the other Regieleki VMAX into play. I'd love to draw into my Regieleki VMAX that's prized too. Just get my damage level up to what I want. With 3 in play, let's see, 220, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, 310. So Miraidon EX with 3 Regieleki VMAXs does one shot Gardevoir EX, right? Because I believe that's 310. So it's not easy to do, though. It's not, because obviously I have to get all my Regieleki VMAXs in play. I only play 3 in the deck. The deck I played 4 of them. Obviously, he by only playing 3, it gives him an extra deck slot for another card, which certainly does have value. But there's times like this when you're going to, a game like this where you're going to really want, probably going to need all 3 in play, and the odds of doing that are reduced. So my opponent is got their EX into play. I cannot one-shot it this turn, next turn, no matter what happens. So I'm not loving my position. See, the Zacian V is such a dangerous card. Once they set up, which they did, it's really rough for me, right? I want to knock out the Zacian this next turn. So they attach to Cresselia so they can retreat, I assume, is the play there. They're going to hit into me with Zacian V, knock out my Raikou V. I'll send up my V-Star. I just need to get 1 energy onto Miraidon EX, which right now I don't have. I'm going to need to top deck something. We'll see what happens here. So they take the prize lead, and they're in the better position. They can probably even one-shot a VMAX at some point in this game, I would imagine. So I have 2 Cram, so let me utilize the Cram. I need to hit heads here, else I can't attack. I did hit heads, and that's really good. I think, I don't want a boss here, although I think I want to keep, do I just want to grab an energy? I think I need to research. I need to set up more for next turn. All right, would I have a Raikou and a VMAX? Do I want to... I'll put down Beach Court. It kind of helps them, but they're okay without that because I'm going to attack with Miraidon, I believe. And I want to just research. No. Yeah, I think I want that bench slot for a Raikou. I'm a little uncertain there for sure. So I'm going to toss down a Raikou. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe I should wait on that. I'll send him up. Put him down. I could get another VMAX into play. I think I want to wait. I think I want to save my other cards that I have in hand, right? Now I'm going to need Electric Generator next turn to be able to attack. I can double switch also. I have a Switch Cart, which I can retreat with, and then I have free retreat off Regieleki VMAX or free retreat off, I believe, any of my other Pokemon. I believe, wait, what? Yeah, the retreat cost of all the basics is 1. So they might bump the stadium, but I still have the VMAX. Obviously, at some point, my opponent could win this next turn. It certainly happened to me up against the Gardevoir EX decks. If they get Zacian into play, can get enough energy on it, and the one Sealstone, what is it, Earth and Sealstone, the one that gives them an extra prize. If they knock out a VMAX or V-Star, they can get a 4-prize turn, which is very brutal. Yeah, they should have enough energy for it. So I'm getting Roxanne. Not ideal, but not the end of the world either. All right, I hit Electric Generator. That's good. And with Raikou, I just need 2 energy on that. So Electric Generator can power up the Raikou in one use. So I have 3 energy in the discard, just checking through. 3 in play, so 6. So that means I have 9 more energy between my prizes and my deck. So I don't know what the prizes are, but probably have, I'd imagine I have 8 there. At least 8 in deck, right? Let's say I have 1 prize. Unlikely to be more than 1. Obviously could be. So if I have 8 out of 30, what are the odds I hit 2? I probably hit 1. It's not crazy that I hit 2, but the odds are, I think, are against me for hitting 2 energy off Electric Generator. And I can't, as it stands now, I can't use Ultra Ball before using Electric Generator because I can't. If I did, I'd have to discard 2 cards. You know, Ultra Ball to thin the deck out, and any cards I can get out are beneficial. So Miraidon EX can one-shot the Miraidon. Sorry, this is the Gardevoir. Single prize Gardevoir can one-shot my EXs or my V, I believe. It does, 6? It's got 6 on it. And they can attach one more. So then get 7 times 3 to 10. Gets up to 70, I believe. But it can't one-shot my VMAX, which is good. But it can one-shot everything else. And Zacian, which they can obviously one-shot my VMAX. So do I want to... All right, I need to hit energy here, right? Need to hit energy. I'm definitely behind. Okay. Just trying to thin things out. But no Pokemon there for me to grab. If I even get 1, at least, I got 2. Excellent. And then I will send my Raikou into the active, use his ability before I attack, which will give me access to Ultra Ball, which is a plus. For sure. Because even if the card's not useful, it will be a 3rd card, so I can use Ultra Ball. All right, I obviously don't need another Beach Court. I don't love either of these. I'm a little uncertain there, I gotta say, with which I should grab. The reason I grabbed... I just wasn't sure I was going to get any value out of now. Let's see. Do I just automatically lose here? I'm going to lose this game. I got to figure. They have Mew. He does 190. So he comes. So Gardevoir EX is 10 short. So they have to attack with something else. They have a Kirlia, so they just need a Pokemon to evolve Kirlia into. They have free retreat because of the Beach Court. So the Beach Court could cost me a game here too, right? There was always that risk it was going to help my opponent more than me. Maybe I shouldn't have played it, right? Because I had the VMAX down. That might have been a mistake. It might have been a card that was just going to give my opponent more value than it was going to give me. So they have Zacian, so my opponent has game. So I let them take the prizes as long as they don't take too long with it. I know some people would prefer I concede immediately. All right, they're being slow, so I'm going to concede because at this point you have game, and maybe they want me to concede. I don't know. So deck a solid. The deck worked. I got to say that game. Obviously, it didn't. I didn't win, but that didn't mean that it was a bad build. It's a deck that does have its bad matchups, though, and that's why getting to the top 8 was impressive, but probably got some luck in terms of their matchups, or just obviously the person played well, and I gotta assume the person is a better decision maker with the deck than I am. I have no doubts of that. You might be able to see them play on the stream because the Pokemon, I imagine, streamed it. I didn't check for that over the weekend, and then the stream should be staying up there so that you can check it out. All right, so Nest Ball, Electric Generator, a solid turn 1. So Nest Ball for Miraidon EX. Miraidon put down. I'll see what my opponent's playing. I probably want Electric Generator 2, a Raikou V. This is not guaranteed, but that's probably the play I want to make. I do have Switch Cart, which I could use turn 1. If I'm going second, then I have guaranteed. Then I have the ability to attack if I just hit 1 energy. But I'm not going to attack because that's not the way I can attack going first. So let's just take a quick peek here. Wait, where's my... So I have 2 VMAXs in hand. The other VMAX is prized. Okay, so 13. So, okay, so no energy is prized. So I want to get... I think I want to fill up the bench. So I want to get another Miraidon and a Regieleki. Do I want to get down... Do I want to leave a bench slot for Radiant Greninja next turn? That's a question. I definitely want a Raikou. Do I want to stop and just do 1 Raikou and leave it at that? I'll do that. I'll leave a bench spot. I don't know if I'll draw into the card, but all right, that's nice. So Raikou, and a Miraidon. And I'll sit on these cards. Obviously, I could get judged and be in an awkward spot. I could have switched into the active with Switch Cart, but keeping Switch Cart in order to be able to heal next turn. Hopefully, I don't get knocked out. We'll see what I'm up against. Obviously, a lot of decks play Drapion because it's such a powerful counter to Mew, and Mew is still a very solid deck. Looking at the results, there's a Mew deck that came in 3rd, which I'm definitely going to take a look at that deck. All right, so a Lost Zone build might be a Lost Zone box. Don't know. So my opponent will most likely play Beach Court, right? They want the free retreat. And I don't have anything to bump the stadium. If they play Beach Court, I play, 3 Beach Courts here. A very useful card. And I only played 2 before, so my opponent really does have a good bit more switching than I did. I played more Escape Rope 3. They only play 1 of that, but they have the extra Beach Court, and they have the 4 Switch cards. So I got to assume that they have a solid build, right? So evolve. I will retreat, hit them with Raikou. I will draw for turn. A research. That is a nice get for sure. So I will attach to Miraidon EX. I will research. I think I still want that bench slot for another Pokemon. I got the Radiant Greninja, which is nice for sure. I will Electric Generator, just 1. I'll attach to the Miraidon, so that does nice damage next turn. Get down the Forest Seal Stone, a very nice card there. And I have Knockout, so there's no reason to throw down another card this turn. Because I'm not positive which way I want to go with that last bench spot. And I still do play, no, I don't play Lumineon V, sorry. This deck does not play that, so I got to not look for that because I'm not going to hit it. So I don't want to play Beach Court most likely because that helps my opponent. They already used their V-Star Power last turn, and they didn't get a lot of value out of it, right? They only got 1 Comfy into play. They need to get Comfy and a Switch card. So, and they can see they did not set up at all a very bricky start for them. And, but also my deck does, Miraidon EX does set up well. So, my opponent's decks will brick more often than this one will, and which is a big part of why I like this deck. It's a fairly straightforward deck. Which, look, I'm sure I've said it. I don't know if I talked about it much lately. My apologies if you feel I oversay it. But one of the big things that I think that loses games, both my own play and I think for my opponent's plays, and even when I watch people play online, is mistakes. Mistakes cost games, and obviously playing thoughtfully, intelligently, thinking clearly. Obviously, so I go first, right? It said there, so good to note that. So I want to put the Regieleki in the active, so I can use Electric Generator on my Miraidon on the bench. So 3 mulligans. So let's see, some metal, some fighting. Arceus, metal, fighting. Okay. Which I'm trying to remember. I believe that's Duraludon VMAX, right? Is metal and fighting. I think I'm right there. It's been a little bit since I used to enjoy Duraludon myself. Haven't played it in a bit, so but we'll see what I'm up against. I'm not going to throw down Beach Court at this point. So okay, so that's a nice start there for sure. Miraidon. Cram is nice also. I think I sit on that though, right? I'll put one Regieleki down. I probably play the third one. In which case, I probably just fill up the bench. What do I want here? I want 1, 2. So throw down Miraidon. Throw down. Well, let's see. I have 1, 2, and okay. So that's good. 1, 2. So let me see if I can. Did I have a Regieleki in the deck? I don't remember. I do. I want to thin the deck, right? That's the reason for that there. I could cram this turn. Let me see what happens with Electric Generator. I got 2. I'm liking that for sure. Well, I could I could toss down Beach Court and switch and draw this turn too, right? Maybe am I going to be greedy with that? I might be. I'll take the risk. I will risk being greedy. Get Raikou. I draw an extra card, right? And an extra card is good. All right, I'm going to cram. See what happens. Tails. So obviously it didn't work out. All right, end turn. So to me, I didn't hit heads, which I would have liked, but that doesn't mean it was the bad play, right? The question is, was it a bad play, not knowing whether it be heads or tails? I don't believe it would have given me access to a third VMAX, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Let's need that. Right now I have 5, 6. It doesn't do a lot right now. 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I don't get the knockout now. But quite frankly, if my opponent can't bench some more Pokemon, they're in a lot of trouble, right? My opponent needs to get at least 1 down on the bench. 5, 6, so that'd be 7. So 140, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I'd still be 1 short. So in that case, wow. Now, I'm surprised that they didn't want to accelerate to themselves. I will say that. So this may be a quick game. Let's see what happens here. I don't have what I need for the win, though. But so I will attach to Miraidon, and I am just short. But I do have knockout next turn. My opponent can't knock me out with just an energy attachment because the DTE, so that's good. They do knock me out with a choice belt. Obviously, that I'm a V Pokemon. It does that. There's Vitality Band, which does 10 more. Okay, it's Goodra. Okay, but I did see Fighting Energy, right? So, so they must be a bit of an Arceus box then, right? I'm pretty sure I saw Fighting also. And they might not have wanted to play Duraludon because I don't play Special Energy. Although, Duraludon at 220 is a solid attack. But Goodra certainly is better, right? That's going to be difficult for me to get through. I have the potential to get the knockout. I need I need to accelerate energy though, right? So they might, you know, if they have Choice Belt in deck, they could grab that and get the knockout, right? With their Starbirth, right? Still a terrific ability, right? Arceus is not getting a lot of attention, but it is super powerful. There's still, you know, we've lost some V's, but there's still an awful lot of V's in format. So it's very good, right? So this is probably I'm guessing it's a Goodra Duraludon and maybe some other VMAX V stars. I don't know. You know, it's certainly a solid deck. That V-Star power, Starbirth, very powerful, helps your deck set up, and just getting going is very important. You know, often like your second turn because you want to. All right, so they Sharon's Cared. Are they going to... They might have the ability to switch and then use Arceus to accelerate to the bench. I'm not sure. So they didn't do much of anything. So... I need to get a little lucky here with this because I don't have. Oh, that is nice. So if I cram, do they have any? No Pokemon there. Just trying to see. Right now my damage is 200. So cram will get me what I need. Did not hit though. All right. Well, that's my life. All right. So do I want to hit into the... I guess I just hit into the Goodra, right? They can't use their V-Star power to heal. I have Boss, so I should be able to knock out the Goodra next turn, even if they evolve to the V-Star, because they can't. I can't imagine they're gonna use its attack next turn. It does 80 less. It takes 80 less damage, I think, right? Let me see what it does here. Just it's been a bit. 80 less, so they're at. So I should knock them out anyway. So Colorless Experiment, a very, very good supporter, right? Obviously, the first just played in Lost Zone decks, but then soon being played in non-Lost Zone decks, just as this, because looking at 5, picking 3 to hand, you lose 2 for the rest of the game. That's okay. So they might be able to... Well, that's... okay, so they're not going to accelerate to Goodra. I guess they're just giving up the Goodra as getting knocked out. We'll see what they play. Maybe they want to get down another V and maybe another Goodra down. Figuring this Goodra's knocked out. So playing down Duraludon. All right, so Duraludon's a nasty one because it does 220, the VMAX. I might want to boss and take out the Duraludon, quite frankly. I really might. We'll see what happens here. I have to think that through. The Goodra's got a lot of damage on it. They can't hit with their V-Star power. So taking out the Duraludon, that's a nice card too, of course. 220 damage. Let's see what I hit here. Then I think I just want to take out the Duraludon. I don't want a boss, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why that has an arrow on it, but so 220, right? 220. Yeah, I'll take out the Duraludon V because the Duraludon V will just smack through my Vs, and I don't like that. And that is a way I can lose the game for sure. All right, that's a very nice card too. So now I'm guaranteed to attack with Miraidon. I could get judged. So when I say guaranteed, oh, okay, it's because Regieleki ability. That's what. Okay, just wasn't sure about the up arrow. So they're not going to knock me out. I probably want to knock out the Arceus. So 220. I mean 200. No, I'm not sure what the damage level is. I probably retreat, hit with Miraidon. We'll see. I mean, if I get a meaningful knockout this turn, I might do that too. So they finally attack with Arceus, finally getting energy going, right? A really rough start for my opponent, for sure. They're going to attack with Goodra. I get it. So 220... They do have the Duraludon on the discard, so I could. There is the possibility of, so 220, 30, 40, 50. So I can knock them out with my Miraidon, which I do like that idea. So I probably switch. Oh, that's a nice card too, isn't it? So I will toss him down. I can get whatever I want with him. 220. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I think then I retreat. I'll attach to somebody here. I'll attach to the V. I think I discard. I think I research here, right? I'll research. I don't need boss this turn. I could switch cart. Is there a reason I want to switch cart? Sure, this works. And I should do knockout, right? I do 280. I'll just take the knockout there. Different things I was just thinking through. Do I want to play the Beach Court, right? That would have given me free retreat. Could have saved the Switch Cart. Because I probably, my Raikou's pretty beat up anyway. I'm not sure that extra healing's not going to help it, quite frankly. I should have game this turn, though, right? I need to double switch, so Switch Cart would have been helpful. This is now, I'm glad I got the Forest Seal Stone in play because I'm kind of immune to Judge. All right, that's nice too. Get an Echoing Horn down. Also, definitely liking this. So I do have, I think I've just seen one Switch Cart, right? Let's take a look. No, I played two. So let me get another Switch Cart going. And so they concede, right? I was just trying to figure out the math. I was pretty sure I could just switch and win. So there we go. So the deck, doing what it does, setting up pretty smoothly. At times, you just get yourself in trouble. Obviously, it's fighting week, but there's not a lot of strong fighting decks right now. So obviously a very good build. I'm going to work with this Miraidon deck, play with it a little more, see how much I want to tweak it, right? Obviously this is the best performing deck to date, at least of the events outside of the Japanese meta, which obviously is similar but not identical. But even though it did the best at that tournament, it might not be the best build in general, so something to keep, but obviously a really good place to start. Try out the deck, and go to Limitless, check out some of the other decks. If there's other decks you think are interesting and fun to play, you can leave that in the comments too. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and have a good Pokemon day. Take care.